the UCP AGM coming up on the 28th to the 30th at the end of November, ladies and gentlemen. And yours truly is absolutely going to be there. And there is going to be an opportunity for us to have a voice, to elect new board members. And that's what this interview is about today. I have Stacey Vanderveen, ladies and gentlemen. She is coming to us. We're in her home. She's invited us in, and we are going to chat to her about running for secretary. And not only that, obviously, if I'm here doing an interview, I am endorsing her. And I encourage each and every one of you who are going to be at the AGM and who can vote to watch this video, and we'll get into it. Stacey, thank you so much for having me in your home. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming by. It's great to chat.
Absolutely, 100%. So the AGM is coming up. I've been encouraging everybody who is a UCP member to show up because I believe we need to have a little bit of change within the party and fresh new faces. And you know what? I found you and I see that you're running for secretary, and I started asking you some questions because that's what I do with everybody. And you know what? I thought it was important after what you told me about your values, your beliefs, who you are as a person, where you see the party going and why you want to do this, that I brought it out to my followers and we did this interview. So I just want to thank you first and foremost for allowing us in. And then let's start with that. I'm a man of faith and my values are faith, family, freedom. And where do you stand on that?
Oh, we are so aligned on that. So my family as well, we're believers, and that drives everything we do. That's how we run our family, how we run our business, how we interact with the whole world. So that's what I'd love to bring to the board as well. Mm-hmm. We've got 3 kids. They're between 10 and 15 years old. So we're having a lot of fun in that teenage phase. Mm-hmm. That also drives our lives, and grateful for that. And freedom, last of all. Alberta it's the last place in Canada, it feels like, that you can have that independent thought, that you can have debate and engagement with one another. And we see a lot of that on your page, which I'm grateful for. So that's the energy I want to bring to the board.
You hit the nail on the head there, freedom. And I know a lot of UCP members, we don't use that word lightly. I've been traveling the country this past year, and I've been coast to coast in this country. And what I've seen is Alberta is actually the last true stronghold when it comes down to conservatism in this country. There are conservatives. There's people on more progressive that are in the East. But Alberta truly is, blue conservatives. And we are that faith, family, freedom. And when it comes down to who you are as a person and being a mother, and being a woman of faith and having all these values and being so busy, why is it important to put your hat in the ring to be secretary?
To protect that for our kids. There's a lot of special interests, internal agendas that can come into politics. And I want to bring that fresh face, that new perspective where the only thing we're focusing on is protecting our families and our futures, especially for our children, because we're looking at election in maybe 2027. We have to be getting ready now because the NDP is getting ready now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we've seen that. We've absolutely seen that with Naheed Nenshi coming out with his video that he paid that American firm. Naheed Nenshi, the elbows up, ladies and gentlemen, of Alberta, who says spend your money in Canada. He's pro Carney and he's going to spend media. But that's for a whole other video, guys. We'll get to that another time. The thing is we talk about the AGM coming up and the board that is already there. I've been talking with constituents all over Alberta, and I've been talking with prominent individuals, business owners, and they're kind of telling me a shakeup needs to happen, and that's why I really resonated with you. But what you said there in your last piece is really why I support you. Family, ladies and gentlemen, family, kids. You guys know I've been doing a lot of content right now, what's going on in the schools, and I have no time for anybody who doesn't bring children into their platform, because the children are the future of this province. They are going to be the ones that are going to be our MLAs one day, making our decisions, and we have to have those values instilled with them. So it makes sense to me to have those values at a board level. And you're in the ring, you're doing this, and you're talking to constituents, you're making those phone calls, and what are you hearing from them?
There's a lot of concern. One of the big things on the forefront of people's minds in Alberta right now is sovereignty and independence. So that's probably the number one topic. And speaking with Albertans, let's have a referendum. Let's do it. I stand 100% behind whatever Albertans decide, and I love that that's the history of the UCP in our party, is that we talk to the people on the ground. What's important to you, and we bring it to the people. Danielle Smith is not a dictator. The board of directors, in fact, should be agenda free. There should be nothing going on there. It all comes from the people. So let's talk to the people and let the people decide, and let Albertans chart the course.
I'm glad you touched on sovereignty. There's a lot of people, ladies and gentlemen, that don't want to touch that sovereignty subject, especially when you're moving into these board member positions when these elections are coming up. Some people want to talk about it, some people don't want to talk about it. And what I like about you is that you're willing to go out there and say, listen, you know what? Albertans are our party. They are a grassroots initiative. These are people who obviously some of them want to talk about it, and we can't take their voice away from them. So let's just go ahead.
No desire to. Yeah.
Exactly. No desire to take their voice away. So let's just go ahead and have that referendum. Let's have the question, and let's ask what Albertans want. And that's super important. And I'm glad that that's where you stand, because that's where I stand as well. It's time to give Albertans a voice.
And you posted about this on your Facebook page this week, and what a wonderful discussion. There was nuance, there was back and forth, there was exactly what we need in Alberta, and that's continued conversation and just connecting with one another, having these conversations in our coffee shops and with our MLAs, and continuing to have that open debate and discussion that we have always thrived on.
Absolutely, 100%, totally agree with you. And so I just want to tell people, AGM 28th to the 30th, that's where I'm going to remind you. The vote takes place November 29th. I will be voting for Stacey. I will be voting for her. And the reason is this, ladies and gentlemen. When I look at politics, and you guys already know this about me, but I have to remind you, I see people from all walks of life. I see business owners, elitists, people that, I hate billionaires, billionaires telling me what to do, and multi-millionaires. We're in your home. It's a beautiful home, but I'm sorry, Stacey, you're not a billionaire.
No,
you know what I mean?
Not yet.
And that's why I align. And that's why I'm here with you, and I'm pushing for you, is because I want real Albertans. I want mothers, fathers, people that have their own voice to be at that board level. Because can you educate people on what the board does, what they're responsible for?
The number one thing the board does is support the UCP and our leader, and have every constituency prepared for election readiness. So with boundary redistribution, that's going to be a big focus of the board in the coming months, to make sure that we have a dynamite MLA in every constituency. And behind that MLA needs to be a well-funded and well-prepared board to support them, so that they can go out and connect with Albertans. And then beyond that, a team of volunteers. I was a campaign manager for our MLA, Chantel DeYoung, incredible hard worker. But we needed people. We need people on the ground. We need to be knocking on doors, talking to folks. What's important to you? And these volunteers are going to be the people that bring out the voters that will bring in another UCP government.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and you know what? It's super important for me to have real grassroots Albertans at a board level, making sure that those decisions happen, because, Albertans have been through a lot. We have truly been through a lot, whether we talk about the separation argument, now what's going on with the recall campaigns, the public sector unions. We need real Albertans who understand what it is like to be that grassroots level, running a campaign, getting somebody elected, and then moving on to the next step where you can provide that support, because you were getting that. You went from getting that support running a campaign to now being the one that could be in a position to give that support. And that's that. I think you've earned it, and I think you're well on your way to it. And I'm really, I couldn't stress it enough. I appreciate you and how busy your life is to put it all out there and be willing to stand up for every single Albertan, and that includes the Albertans on the other side. So I want to thank you for that.
For sure. And this is one sphere where I think it's necessary for one to toot one's own horn. I've been there. I've done that. I'm not a long-term political operative. I don't have an agenda. I want Alberta to stay UCP. And I've delivered that. And both personally and professionally, I'm a business owner, I'm a parent, I'm a wife, I'm a mother. I am a political volunteer, and I want to take the experience that I have, both in life and in politics, to the board and still be that fresh face without any preconceived notions.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I think there's nothing else I have to ask her, guys. This is my vetting process. This is how I vet the people that I'm going to vote for, whether it's at an MLA level, whether it's as an MP level or a board level within the UCP. And you guys should all do your due diligence as well. And you should be asking those questions, and they're not hard questions to ask. And when you can come into somebody's home and you can ask them to their face why they want to do this, you can feel it. You might not be able to feel it there, but I can feel it here. So what I'm asking all of you to do, one, come shake my hand at the AGM. I would love to see you. See Stacey, ask her the questions, ask her. You'll see exactly what I'm seeing here today. And if you're comfortable with that and you're happy with her answers, remember Stacey Vanderveen on November 29th, ladies and gentlemen.